Happening tonight as the Kuwait Airways hijacking continues, we'll tell you why more lives are at risk. In central New York tonight, we'll tell you why this school superintendent has been slapped with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And in our nightcap, we'll tell you why these kids are dressed up like they're heroes. I'm Rod Wood. These stories and much more just ahead on Central New York tonight.
All right. Okay, the first president to live in the White House.
Oh, who is John Adams?
Right.
Okay, presidents for 200.
Wow, Alex Trebek.
He wasn't a president.
Trebek. Jeopardy. Jeopardy.
Come on.
Jeopardy. 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 Jeopardy.
History for $200. The answer is the site of Napoleon's last defeat. Mike.
What is Waterloo?
Correct.
I'll take potent potables for $100.
Gee, the drinks in this place are expensive.
The answer is gin and vermouth.
Oh, what's in a martini?
Good.
I'll take food for thought for 300.
Let's make this an audio daily double.
Why will my fried eggs be scrambled today?
That's right. Ah, it's time for Final Jeopardy.
Final Jeopardy. Oh,
The category is Ancient Egypt. Final Jeopardy answer is exact chemical formula of the fluid used to embalm King Tut.
King Tut?
Put it on my tab.
Jeopardy's the language of Jeopardy.
Oh, be sure and phrase it in the form of a question.
WIXT, Syracuse, Central New York 9. Live from the WIXT Broadcast Center, Rod Wood, Peggy Finnegan, Doug Logan on sports, and Rick Gary's weather. This is Central New York Tonight.
The tense standoff continues in Cyprus, with hijackers holding nearly 50 hostages aboard a Kuwaiti Airways jumbo jet. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Wood. Peggy has the night off. Happening tonight, the death toll in the hijacking has risen to 2 as the hijackers killed another passenger. But as Peter Allen Frost reports tonight, Cypriot officials are refusing the hijackers' demands to refuel the plane.
The terrorists aboard the hijacked Kuwaiti airliner kept repeating their demands for fuel. They said they wanted to take off for what they termed a neutral country. They did not specify which. When their demands were not met by the Cypriot authorities, they issued a statement and threatened to kill one of the passengers.
We are intending to take off to a neutral country. Therefore, you are kindly requested within 1 hour to start refueling the craft. Otherwise, we will kill a personality related to the unjust Kuwaiti regime. This was a threat they carried out. A body was thrown from the plane to lie on the tarmac until an ambulance took it away. Then followed a statement saying they had killed a Kuwaiti official. We executed a Kuwaiti officer, and this is due to the wish of Cypriot government, which had decided to support the criminal countries against the people looking for freedom. The hijackers said unless they were refueled immediately, they would take more dangerous steps. They did not spell out what they meant, but they have said they have mined the plane with high explosives. Peter Allen Frost, ABC News, Larnaca, Cyprus.
And the Lebanese terrorist group tonight is making threats of its own. The Organization of the Oppressed on Earth, the faction holding Marine Lieutenant Colonel William Higgins, says it will execute Higgins if security forces storm the hijacked Kuwaiti jet. Earlier, the Islamic Jihad warned it would kill its hostages, including American journalist Terry Anderson, if troops try to move in on the hijackers. In the war of finger-pointing going on in Auburn, the school board has launched the newest offensive. Topping our look at Central New York tonight, the Auburn board has voted to file a $5 million counterclaim against suspended Superintendent Peter Kakris. The board charges Kakris with breach of duty and negligence in regard to the problems with asbestos removal at the Auburn High School. The removal project has run into many delays, and now the high school will not open until next fall.
It holds him personally responsible for the cost overruns and the expenses the district has incurred due to the asbestos crisis, which we have outlined as the basis for our problems with the superintendent.
The board's counterclaim is also a response to Kakris' suit filed 2 weeks ago. Kakris is taking 5 school board members to court after they voted to suspend him last month. Set up your satellite dish wherever you like. The DeWitt Town Board tonight rejected a new law that would have significantly limited the use of home satellites and antennas like the one you see here. Some members of the board thought the dishes were eyesores, but a large turnout of ham radio operators tonight convinced them otherwise.
What's to be gained by allowing the amateur to use these antennas in an effective way far outweighs the aesthetic or beauty question.
We've been putting them in to this point, getting our permits, and At least to my knowledge, I don't know of any problems within the town of DeWitt as far as an installation or quality of an installation.
The ordinance would have required a hearing before the DeWitt Planning Board before a homeowner could install a satellite dish. Ham radio operators say they should be exempt from such a rule if a new law is considered by the board. In America tonight, all eyes are on New York State. The countdown is on for the state's presidential primary, and the candidates are hot on the campaign trail. Jesse Jackson took to the streets of Rockland County today, large crowds greeting the Democratic candidates. Al Gore, meanwhile, was focusing his attention on Wall Street. The Tennessee senator talking politics with traders on the New York Stock Exchange. After taking yesterday off, George Bush was at it again today. The vice president touring the IBM Training Center in Westchester County. Time is running out for the candidates to rule voters in this state. The New York primary is April 19th. 2 Air Force pilots are lucky to be alive tonight. The crew of an F-4 jet was returning from a training mission when their plane crashed and exploded near Austin, Texas. The men were thrown 250 feet in the air but escaped with minor injuries. Authorities tonight are still trying to determine the cause of the crash. The death toll is climbing in Pakistan. In the world tonight, Pakistanis are warning victims of yesterday's explosion in an ammunition depot. At least 93 people were killed, more than 1,000 injured, and tonight officials say hundreds of others are still missing. Emergency crews are still searching for survivors in the rubble. The explosion showered rockets, shrapnel, and shells over 3 Pakistani cities. No word yet on what caused that blast. The Soviet Union's plan to pull troops out of Afghanistan is winning praise tonight from President Reagan. The president announced he will send Secretary of State George Shultz to Geneva later this week to sign the withdrawal agreement. Shultz's trip gives him another chance to meet with the Soviet foreign minister. The two will continue to iron out details of next month's superpower summit. Prison sentences for the last 2 of the 9 men indicted as co-conspirators in the Lee Alexander corruption case. Checking stories we first told you about on our 5:30 news, reporters crowded outside federal court in Utica today as James Zeke Spaulding was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison and fined $30,000. U.S. District Court Judge Thomas McAvoy also ordered Eugene Bersani to serve a 2.5-year prison term and pay $85,000 in restitution to the city.
I think that we're happy to have this phase of the activity behind us. The city recovered a total of $390,000 in restitution, which exceeded our greatest hopes.
Spaulding and Bersani were among the 9 men indicted as co-conspirators for helping former Mayor Alexander extort over $1 million. In just hours, we begin day number 2 of the Route 81 detour. It is the summer construction season, and as Jim Foreman tells us, a lot of Central New York commuters got home just a little bit late.
Even as rush hour traffic started jamming downtown streets tonight, workers were still putting finishing touches on new traffic lanes, all designed to get us where we're going without any extra headaches.
From here at the Pearl Street on-ramp all the way back into downtown Syracuse, it's one long steady stream of cars. Things here at the beginning of rush hour seem to be going okay, basically as well as can be expected on this, the first day of the big detour. The Syracuse Police Department has brought on extra officers, including 12 off-duty cops, to pull the traffic through downtown to get it on here. Really the only alternative if you're heading north.
Central New York commuters, get ready for what could be a long, hot summer, as this construction is not scheduled to be wrapped up at least until September. It's all part of a multi-million-dollar plan to rehab the elevated portion of 81. Now, we got a little bit of a break this morning when the highway didn't shut down at that magic 7 a.m. time everyone was talking about. So the drive into work was smooth sailing. Now let's only hope it will be that way tomorrow morning when the road is shut down. Along I-81, I'm Jim Foreman, 9 Eyewitness News on the Night Beat.
And the target date for completion of that 81 North Improvement Project is no later than October 15th. Rick Urey joins us with the weather now. The Oscar warning weather. It only went 3.5 hours tonight.
I know it, only 3.5 hours.
We had one year we got on with our news about 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, with the long-winded speeches. And
yeah, I think they go just a little bit too long.
Were you surprised at all, any of the awards?
Best Picture, I was surprised that that was a good-looking dress that Cher almost wore. And, yeah.
She didn't show off her navel this year. I was kind of surprised.
Unbelievable. Hey, shall we tell you about some good weather?
Why not?
Today was a nice day, and I think we'll have another one tomorrow. Let's go to the weather window, shall we? And get right to it. We don't want to keep you up too late tonight. Here we go. We had a high of 60 today. There's our normal in the 54-degree range. We're beating everything here, normal and the low. The low 27, of course, beating the normal 34, a little bit lower. But it seemed a little cool today. We had some breezes out there that made it feel such. Precipitation, nothing. For the month, just a little over an inch right now. And for 1988, the season, 6.5 inches. All right. And now for what we had as far as snow, nothing. We're going to keep everything the same. We have 2 inches thus far for the month. Normally about 3.74 inches of snow for April. 107.8 is where it stands right now. Currently 43 degrees, humidity at 75%. Barometer rising. Good sign the winds are calm right now. And as we get into our state, we have 48 degrees and cloudy in New York City, 39 in Messina. There's your cold spot. Everybody else basically in the 40s under clear skies for tonight. Weather watchers, 46 Norwich. There's your warm one. Couple of 34s for Auburn and Barnes Corners for the cool spot tonight among the weather watchers. Again, some clear skies throughout the entire area. Jet stream really bringing in that cool air out of Canada. And the reason why it's felt that way for the last couple of days and probably will through most of the week. Down below us. We got to get it up there to get some warm weather towards us, towards our area, at least for the springtime. 100 in Yuma, there was your warm spot for today. Gunnison, Colorado, back in. 7 degrees above zero for the cold spot for today. Tomorrow, we get this high-pressure system building into the area. And with it, some nice weather. In the next couple of days, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see this pressure system move off the coast, move northeastward, and one that will come out of the west, and that will create some cloudy weather, let's say, and a chance of showers for both Wednesday and Thursday. Tomorrow morning, be a little on the cool side. We'll have 34 and clear skies. Rochester will be in with 33. Out Boston way in the morning, it'll be 38, and it'll start to warm up from there. Our forecast for overnight, fair and chilly. Light winds, 30 to 35 for the low. And for tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, and we'll have 55 to 60. Another nice day. Now, the extended forecast, a little trouble here for Wednesday and Thursday as it looks right now. Some showers. Not all-day rains, but some showers. 55 in the 50s on Thursday. We're going to stay with the 50s, if you will, through Saturday anyway, as it looks right now. And sunshine, partly sunny for both Friday and Saturday. So not bad looking right now as we ease into the first part of the weekend. As far as the state is concerned for tomorrow, I think everybody will see partly sunny skies and temperatures in the 50s.
Not an award-winning forecast by any stretch, but certainly honorable mention.
Yes,
Rick.
thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Well, the winners at the 60th Annual Academy Awards tops our look at people tonight. In case you fell asleep, we'll fill you in on who the Academy picked as Hollywood's finest tonight. Best Actor going to Michael Douglas for his role in Wall Street. As for Hollywood's top female, the Academy handed the award for Best Actress to Cher for her role in the movie Moonstruck. And as always, the Motion Picture Academy saved the best of the best for last. Some tough competition in the category for Best Picture this year. When all was said and done, the envelope was opened, and the winner was The Last Emperor. Do women really spend more money on clothing than men? The answer coming up in Your Money tonight. And Central New Yorkers line up for more hepatitis shots. We'll tell you about the latest restaurant worker to come down with the disease. That story up next in Family Health Tonight.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America, talk with winners of tonight's Academy Awards. And Chantal will be going to one of the hottest Oscar parties in Hollywood. That's tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Your Central New York GMC truck dealers
has just received an extra factory allocation
of rugged new specially equipped Sierra pickup trucks. Sticker priced only $10,010.
$10,010.
Equipped with a special value package, you can save $893.
Now you can buy an 88 Sierra with a 4.3-liter Vortec V6 engine that produces more horsepower than Ford.
Plus, get $500 cash back.
GMC truck quality, priced to beat the competition.
These Sierras will be sold only at your Central New York GMC truck dealers.
O is for the outstanding selection. A is for the amazing prices. K is knowing you bought the best quality. Altogether, they spell oak from Big Sur water baths. We made a special purchase of this Lemoyne wall unit with center mirror and handsome twin pier cabinets for just $699.99. Or the Sutton oak water bed is just $299.99. Add the matching dresser, mirror, and nightstand for $499. For real oak value, it's Big Sur water baths. Just one more reason why we're America's largest.
As Central New Yorkers get ready for a winter escape to the sun, smart winter travelers get a head start on their tan. An attractive tan from Southwind's Tanning Center reduces the risk of a tropical sunburn stealing precious vacation days. It's quick, convenient, private, and fun to start your tan at Southwind's with UVA booths or beds. The choice is yours. Easy hairstyles for your trip and a new retail center, Hair 2000 and Southwind's Tanning Center, Marketplace Mall across from TJ Maxx.
We'd much rather spend our free time playing, not weeding. That's why we're using Typar landscape fabric.
Typar blocks out weeds, but lets water, air, and fertilizer pass through. And it's easy to put in place.
So our landscaping stays beautiful, and we have more time together for what we really enjoy, golf. For more playtime and less work time, look for this Typar landscape fabric display in lawn and garden centers. Good-looking guy, huh?
Sure is.
In family health tonight, there is more concern about a possible outbreak of hepatitis. A worker at the Ramada Inn on Buckley Road has come down with the disease, and he was not using protective gloves. This afternoon, the county began vaccinating people who may have been exposed. If you ate at the restaurant between these dates, March 28th to April 7th, you should get a shot. Now, tomorrow, you can go to the Nate Perry Elementary School between 4:30 and 6:30 to be inoculated. Now, it's important to point out you may be in danger, even if you didn't eat at the restaurant, but just had a drink in the lounge.
Any drink containing ice, specifically water and orange juice, as well as anything served by the lounge, could have possibly carried the hepatitis A virus.
Dr. Miller says ice, being cold and wet, is a perfect medium for the hepatitis virus to survive in. The worker who became ill did prepare drinks containing ice. The Ramada Inn will be cited for the worker's failure to wear gloves. Well, people are drinking less alcohol these days and worrying more about its effects. A Harvard researcher says people now seem to think that it's dumb to get drunk. But another medical researcher disputes the Harvard study, saying young people seem to be drinking as much as ever nowadays. True or false? Single men tend to spend more money on clothing and accessories than single women. In your money tonight, the answer is true. According to a magazine survey, single men do spend more than single women, but here's the catch. Half the men's purchases are for gifts for women. Men outspent women in every category in the survey, but researchers say women trail men in income, so the money they do spend represents a bigger portion of their resources. Imagine a machine that allows you to show 35mm slides on your TV screen. Imagine no more. Eastman Kodak has now come out with that very machine. The company's slide video transfer unit accepts standard 2x2-inch slides in 80-slide Kodak carousel trays. The machine creates a video signal of the slide and allows it to be shown on a monitor or TV screen. Kodak says the machine, to be available this summer, will cost $4,700. Well, on the stock market, the Wall Street closed today at its highest level since the October crash. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rising nearly 6 points in moderate trading, advancing issues leading declines by a 3-2 margin. SU's Coach Mack talks about the quarterbacking derby. Doug Logan on Sports is coming up next, but first, get out your tickets. Here are tonight's winning numbers in the state lottery games.
Here are some scenes from the exciting conclusion of Walk Softly Through the Night.
It's all right. What about the gun? The .22 revolver?
I saw Marty hand Ted a bottle of pills, and Ted gave him some money.
Where did you go after you walked out of the writers' meeting?
Quincy, Tuesday morning at 10 on Central New York 9.
Today in music history, brought to you by Trident Gum. Taste the one that will win you over to sugarless gum. Kids would line up for days in hopes of getting a front row seat at the hottest show in the country, Alan Freed's Rock and Roll Party. And when you look back at the lineup of acts that performed on each show, it is simply unbelievable. Alan Freed, the man who named it rock and roll, promotes his first rock and roll show at the Brooklyn Paramount today, April 11, 1955.
Charlie's dad is a dentist, so when Charlie gets some teeth, chances are he'll chew great-tasting Trident. Because more dentists and their families chew Trident than all other sugarless gums combined. Trident. Millions of teeth can't be wrong. On career day, this class found out that more dentists and their families chew great-tasting Trident than all other sugarless gums combined. Now, guess what they all want to be when they grow up? Trident. Millions of teeth can't be wrong.
World Wrestling Federation action returns to the Onondaga County War Memorial in Syracuse, Wednesday, April 27th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets available at the box office at all Ticketmaster locations. You'll see the one-man gang face Bam Bam Bigelow. The Islanders take on the British Bulldogs. And the Honky Tonk Band defends the Intercontinental title against Brutus the Barber Beefcake, with Honky's manager Jimmy Hart bored from the building. It happens Wednesday, April 27th at the Onondaga County War Memorial.
It doesn't only happen in the movies, real-life fatal attractions on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Tuesday afternoon at 4.
Well, Doug, did all your favorites win Oscars tonight, or something to be desired?
I only saw a couple of the movies. I haven't had time. Now that basketball season's over, I can spend more time in town, go to see some
I'm
movies.
curious about something. When Coach Mack comes out with his playing assignments, does he have an envelope like that?
Yeah, he might have some envelopes for some of the players after today's scrimmage. As a matter of fact, but in one position especially, it's just down to finalists. This Saturday afternoon in the Carrier Dome, the Syracuse football Orangemen will wrap up their spring football season with an inter-squad scrimmage prior to the SU lacrosse game versus Hobart. Now, today, the football squad held the scrimmage the coaches put the most emphasis on. Afterwards, live, we spoke with Coach Mack and asked him for his assessment of the Orange quarterbacking derby.
Well, we'll know a lot more of that by the end of the week. It's just the same as it was as we started. It's going to be Phil Cox Ashar. I think that we're in good shape with both of them. I think the young kids are better than we thought they were. And we don't have to make that decision now. We won't make it.
Okay, but an observation from a naked eye or what untrained eye is that Shar can pass the ball and the stiff fella can really run.
Wow. I mean, he really has really come a long way, and especially in the last 2 weeks of spring ball. Warren Stiff, the New York State Player of the Year. He's very exciting. I think we've got to put him back in the lineup.
For the envelope, please stay tuned for the first week of September when the Orange kick off the season. Going into today, they were the only undefeated team in Major League Baseball, but the New York Yankees got into a shootout with the Toronto Blue Jays this afternoon, and the Blue Jays won. Toronto's home opener doesn't start off well for the home team. Top of the first, Bobby Meacham sends a long fly ball to right. Jesse Barfield drops the ball. Ricky Henderson scores from third. Meacham has himself a double. Now still in the first, 2-0. Now Dave Winfield hits a shot over the head of Lloyd Mosby in center all the way to the wall. Don Mattingly will score. Winfield has the double. Yankees have a 3-0 lead. Now the Blue Jays respond quickly and convincingly. Bases loaded, bottom of the first. Ernie Witt a drive to right center. Mosby and Tony Fernandez both score, making it a 3-2 ball game. The next batter, former Chief Kelly Gruber. He will lift a long fly ball to right. Watch it. Winfield has problems with the sun. And yes, the ball drops, then bounces over the wall. A ground rule double. George Bell comes in from third. The game is tied at 3. Still in the first, now 4-3 Toronto. Billy Martin can't believe it. Rick Leach can. Rips a base hit down the first base line. Gruber and Fred McGriff race home. All familiar names. After only 1 inning, the Blue Jays led the ball game 6-3. And we'll go on to the scoreboard. 17-9. The final, Milwaukee and Boston chilled out. Cleveland 7, Baltimore 2. National League, Pittsburgh over Philadelphia. Houston and Atlanta postponed due to rain. The Cubs stay hot. Cincy leads San Francisco 4-0 in the 7th. The Lemoyne baseball team, the Dolphins, are now 1 game over the 500 mark. They swept Niagara today 8-2 and 19-1. Pete Hoy fired a 5-hitter in game 1. Tom Newman fanned 10 while allowing just 1 hit in the nightcap. New York Knicks still struggling for that 8th and final playoff spot. Took on the Eastern Conference. Detroit at the Garden tonight. Pistons down by 1 late in the ball game, but it's time for Isaiah Thomas to take control. He does just that with 4 seconds remaining. Gives Detroit a 103-102 advantage right there. But at the other end, Patrick Ewing is fouled. 3 seconds to go. He sinks 1 of 2 free throws to send the game into overtime. And in overtime, the Knicks make all the right moves, including this one by Ewing, to put New York up by 2. Knicks win it 114-111. And another ball game will show you it was Washington over Atlanta 86-85. And also the Nets lost to Indiana 95-93. That's it in sports.
All right, Doug, thank you very much. Well, the pages of history come alive tonight. We'll show you how some Central New York youngsters are bringing characters of the past into the present. That story when we come back.
Your Central New York GMC truck dealers
has just received an extra factory allocation
of rugged new specially equipped Sierra pickup trucks. Sticker priced only $10,010.
$10,010.
Equipped with a special value package, you can save $893.
Now you can buy an 88 Sierra with a 4.3-liter Vortec V6 engine that produces more horsepower than Ford.
Plus, get $500 cash back.
GMC truck quality, priced to beat the competition.
These Sierras will be sold only at your Central New York GMC truck dealers.
The Perkins Reuben Melt. The other guy's Reuben sandwich. Our Country Club Melt. Their Country Club sandwich. Our new Frisco Melt. their new Frisco melt. Some of our other melts. Some of their other melts. If you want a delicious melt, you can either come to a Perkins family restaurant and enjoy one of ours, or go somewhere else and enjoy one of theirs.